Hey, what up, YouTube? This is Foamposite. These are the only ones that I got. So I'm gonna go into detail about these. When I started getting them, I always like Foamposite because of the solid colorways. I like the ones more than the pros. These are the pros. If you guys don't know, you have to check on them. These are the pros. They have solid colors. Well, back in high school, I wasn't able to afford them. They were about $200, $200 a pair. I think the most I ever spent on a pair of shoes when I was in high school was about $150, a little bit above $150, but it was under $200. I couldn't, $200 was way out of my range. And I was working at the time, and I could have got them if I really wanted them, but $200 was a very steep pocket, especially when you're only working a little bit at a time. I wasn't working full time; I was part time. So, but yeah, nobody at the time at my school had Foamposites, and I was like, man, I really wanted to get a pair, but I just couldn't afford them. And then they sat on shelves over here, believe it or not. It's fucking crazy now. You think of them. If anybody knows about Foamposites now, they fucking sell out like crazy. But yeah, they used to sit on shelves. They had a couple of them at outlets. I do remember that. Yeah, but I wasn't able to get them. Or the ones that had at outlets, I wasn't really liking them. I wasn't really feeling them. The ones that usually were the ones that are sold out all the time, the Royals. Those wouldn't really stick around, and the eggplants. These are the two original colorways. Well, the Royals is the original colorway. These came back. What was it? 1997. That was when the original came out. I didn't get those. I was a kid at the time, about 8 or 9, so I couldn't afford those. My uncle did have a pair of these though, actually. I remember my parents were flipping out, like, man, I can't believe, they would say, my dad's brother paid, $200 and some for a pair of shoes, or it came out to $200 and something with tax. I think the shoe itself was like $190 or something. But at the time, it was a very expensive shoe. This is the late 90s. The most I've paid for a shoe now is probably, when it's around the range of $250-ish with tax included. That's probably the most, and that going just for a pair of sneakers is, it's like, I don't know, man, I'm not going to be doing that often. I've done it with the recent releases, like those that came out to almost, I think it was about $250-ish, or almost $250, because I had to pay for the shipping, if I didn't include the shipping, it'd probably be about $240 something. And I got the red ones, you see those are the ones that shine the most. Recently, and these are dirty. I was actually going to clean them. I haven't had to store them on there, and it'd be, oh well. I actually wear them. I haven't worn those two yet, the ones that just came out. I'll pick a chance to wear them. Turquoise, man, these were crazy. I'm trying to go back and think when it really got crazy. I would say around the copper and the pewters, when these were coming out, and that's when I saw them, it was getting crazy. When I think it hit the breaking point over here where I live was when the Galaxies came out. I think that was nationwide, where it just like everybody wanted a pair of foams. They were the hottest shoe. I was, in my mind, I was like, man, those shoes used to sit on shelves over here. I mean, I wish I had some pictures of them. I know there's some people that have pictures of them sitting at the outlets. Mainly the cough drops and the cactus ones, but I can't remember any other ones. But I mean, yeah, they used to sit. We wouldn't even get them, to be honest. I mean, they wouldn't even send a pair over here. It's still hard to get a pair in Texas if you want a Foamposite. Now you can go to like House of Hoops or something. They get them. But before, there was like select shops around, Austin that I know that got them. Like, for these metallic red ones that came out, the only shop at the time that got them, these came out, what was it, in 2012, February 2012. The only place that had them at the time was, I can't think of the name, was Nice Kicks, And they get a select few. It's not like a major retailer like Finish Line or Foot Locker, where they can get numerous ones, like maybe like 50 to 100 a pair, a small retailer like Nice Kicks, even though they're known, they probably get 30 pairs at the most. Or maybe less than 30. Just like, I got those purple ones. I mean, the person that I know, he gets, it's a small retailer. It's actually a company. They don't get that many as compared to Finish Line, Foot Action, or East Bay, or all them, because that's where majority of the accounts they send them to them. They get, you know, these people that I deal with, they get maybe 20, 30 pairs. Like, you know, Nice Kicks, lucky enough I was able to get a pair of these. And I believe they had maybe 35 pairs at that time. I don't even remember. I mean, the release switch is going crazy because, you know, it's the first. They had red, you know, pros, like with the check on them. But, you know, I was able to get them. My favorite one out of all of them is the Royals, you know. And I'm not even a big fan of the blue, but the blue is just right, you know. It's not too bright. It's, you know, the finish was just right, you know. I don't know, it just sits right, you know. I just wear them with anything. I don't give a fuck if I'm wearing red or anything, you know. I usually just wear them, and you know, you can tell I wore them. You know, they're dirty, they're not clear, blue, or whatever. These are usually clear. What is it? I don't even know the name, but you know, they're pretty clear. They weren't as clear as those, or those that the recent releases that have been coming out. They weren't that clear, you know. They used to just be like like something like that. You won't be able to see it though, like where the carbon fiber is at. You know, like right here, like, you know, they didn't used to be as clear as those purple ones. You know, and you look compared to the other purple ones I have, the eggplants compared to these, you know, you're like, poof, you can tell a big difference. Let me get some lighting here. Yeah, I've worn these a couple times too. You know, this is a purple that really suits me. It's not too bright. It's more of a stealth look. You know, that's kind of what I like with shoes to begin with. Worn these a lot actually. You know, these and the Royals are probably my favorite. And you know, I wore the red ones a couple times. It's just that it's too bright. You know, normally they do turn heads. If that's what you're looking for. If you're looking for like another man's approval of your shoes, then yeah, you probably would want to wear something that's bright, like shiny bright. I can care less what people think about what kind of shoes I got, what kind of shoes I have, you know. But I do get a lot of compliments when I wear the Royals. You know, people are like, "Whoa, where'd you get those at?" You know, so yeah, man, these have been out for a while, man. I've had them. Same with the Predators. I wear the Predators a lot because it goes with the Spurs. I'm a Spurs fan, so it goes with the jerseys. And these are not as bright. I need to clean them. Actually, they were pretty nice at first. They're fucking dirty as shit, you know. And it's haven't. I was actually wearing them earlier this week. You know, I wore them a couple times. I was wearing my Spurs jerseys when they were playing Chicago. Earlier in the week, I believe it was on Wednesday. The red ones I've worn a handful of times. But like I said, you know, I'm not crazy about that bright-ass color. These are the 3 recent ones that came out within the last year or so. So you can tell the huge difference from when it used to be. You know, this is what it used to be. Well, let me just say, and not without the electric one, without this one right here, because this came out a couple years ago too. This one was pretty crazy. I mean, I didn't think this release was gonna be that crazy, but people really liked the color, so I was surprised. And like I said, this is the only one I don't have, or this is the only one I have that's a pro. The rest of the ones are ones. Excuse me. Yeah, like I said, I'm not crazy about the pros. Unless they come out with a color like this, it's like, oh shit, you know, finally. Because I like turquoise, you know, turquoise and purple and all those other colors are kind of my thing. So yeah, you know, that's the collection. You know, got the boxes all over the place and shit. I didn't have a box for that. Well, I did and it got destroyed. Fucking fucked that up, stacking boxes. Well, you know, I'm just gonna let you go. It's kind of like a little rant video, just to tell you know what it used to be and what it is now, and where I think it's gonna be. You know, you can just tell from these two that it's over the hill now. It's just going downhill. You know, kids are getting into it. You know, and they're just. It's not what it used to be. It used to be you could just get it with any other shoe actually. You know, with Jordans too. You know, everything's just been kind of kids are just buying up anything. You know, and I've been. You know, I fell into that category too. But I just bought it because it's something. Some colors that I think, you know, are worth something. Not every single color. Like, you know, you don't see the pink one or all the other weird colors they've been coming out with. I actually kind of like the yellow one. I gotta see it up close though, because it looked alright. But, you know, like I said, that's another color right that's like, eh. You know, ever since, you know, they know that they have something, you know, the milk, it's been, you know, weird colors after another. You know, that's what we've been coming out with. You know, they don't really give you what you want. For say, they'll give you a color that you like, but they won't give it to to you the way you really like it, you know, or the details, like the purple ones, they put the orange on there. I'm like, oh man. But, you know, the purple was bright as it was anyway, and, you know, oh well. Let's see what they'll come out with next. You know, there's some new colorways that, you know, I'm pretty sure you guys are not going to like. Nothing compared to what it used to be anyways. But yeah, it's a long enough video. Let me go on to the next